This is the Wrestling for Life Network, and this is another live stream. Tonight we have TNA Impact 2 weeks in a row. Tonight's show is the go home show for Emergence, which airs tomorrow on the TNA Plus app. I'm excited for tonight, so let's get into it. Like I said, this is the Wrestling for Life Network, and this is another live stream. Tonight, we have TNA Impact, the go-home show for tomorrow's Emergence. We got a big card. We got things going down tonight. We got a lot to talk about in the wrestling world, specifically with TNA today, but I am not here alone. That is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world. The man who puts the T in TNA, Ringside Anthony. I am Big Nick, and yes, twice the night before Emergence, but TNA is popping off in the news. Apparently, they're the weapon of mass destruction when it comes to WWE against AEW.
Right. It seems like the CW is a big player and they want TNA on the CW, but also TNA wants to go to Wednesday nights and go head to head with Dynamite, which I don't feel like is necessary right now. But I mean, that's one of those things, you do you, boo. I don't know.
Well, it feels like WWE, and allegedly, and shout out everybody in the chat, we'll say hi to you in a quick second because I know we got about 10 minutes before the show kicks off. But it seems very much like, allegedly, according to the dirt sheets, mostly Dave Meltzer, and we know how we feel about Dave Meltzer around here, right? That WWE is using TNA as this like Berlin Wall in the Cold War of wrestling of they're going to try and get it to move to Wednesdays. It's going to be on a WWE adjacent network type of thing. People are already mentioning it being on the Peacock. You mentioned CW. It seems like it's become this bridge, this blockade with this whole story that WWE is counter programming, trying to block AEW from getting a new TV deal. If they just want to run AEW out of business, apparently at this point.
That's what it seems like, and that's what all the rumors are saying, which is really, for me is a bit scary. If like, I can understand a company having an influence on someone getting a TV deal. Like I've said that from the beginning, like WWE could help TNA, but if it's that much influence behind the scenes where, WWE is positioning TNA to do this, it scares me a little bit because it's like, what is the end goal? What is the outcome? I've been a champion of TNA never being sold to WWE, but like reports that come out today kind of scare me as a TNA fan.
Fair enough. I didn't even fully think about it that way. I was going to say I buy none of it. I think it's all bull. I think it's all kind of weapons of mass distraction.
I hope so.
Well, and I think the closest thing that I would believe is that TNA is going to go to a WWE kind of adjacent network, like because with Peacock, with them leaving Peacock, we fully believe that them and AAA could go into that kind of a Peacock slot. Maybe they do something with the CW. I don't think a Fox would be in it or anything. Everything else about WWE trying to like completely run out AEW and just TNA is a pawn on the chessboard that they're playing. I don't buy that. I've never bought in the whole, Silva chair in the corner, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I probably should have took it that way. Like I kind of went to the defensive, but absolutely, like I don't really
you're defending. That's my loved one. That's my child. Don't attack my child.
Yeah, I don't really believe it either. Like you said, I'm more leaning towards them being on a WWE, a network that WWE is on, the CW, streaming, Peacock, the USA Network. But WWE positioning TNA like this, I just don't see it. Right now, we don't even know the true TNA ratings on Access TV. So it's like, why would we even try? This is just in my mind and in my book. Why would we even try to step to AEW at this point when we don't even know what you really can draw outside of Access TV?
Yeah, why are we going back to we need a Wednesday Night Wars after the Tuesday Night Wars that didn't go so well for AEW and all that? I think it's always been part of this whole deal with TNA working with WWE will help you get a TV deal because now you're getting exposed on major networks. Now
Right.
CW, you were here for Tuesday for NXT. Now CW is very familiar with a lot of the talent that shows up on their programming through NXT.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that's why CW is a big player because they see the talent each and every week that shows up on NXT. You know, a Mike Santana, a Joe Hendry. You know, they had Jordan Grace before she jumped ship to WWE, but the CW sees what TNA has with their characters, with their stories, with their wrestlers, and to have that on that network, really, since the CW has kind of not tanked, but has kind of moved from scripted television to more sports-based television. I think this position for for the CW to take TNA.
There you go. Could have Thursdays. You could have your own kind of TNT out there on the CW. You have Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
But speaking of seeing things, let's see the people out there. Let's say hi to the people. Zach, happy National Creamsicle Day. Zach always, again, he's the advent calendar of the channel. He always lets us know what random holiday is. There's us. Kevin, what up? What up? Devin, Big Nick and Anthony, justice for Josh Alexander. I know Meg also brought this up in the Discord. We can talk on this quickly. Josh Alexander, I know people were saying last night Speedball Mike Bailey. How do you feel about these guys that have left TNA and gone to AEW? Were they better sufficed in TNA?
Obviously, yeah, the answer there would be yes. They were better serviced in TNA, you know, they were better sufficed in TNA. When it comes to Josh Alexander, I have about two feelings about Josh Alexander. The first one is like, I kind of knew if he went to AEW, it was going to be the Deonna Purrazzo route. It was, you know, it wasn't going to look good. The second thing that little bothers me about Josh Alexander is that when he left TNA, he had an interview after he joined AEW, and he said in that interview, as soon as AEW was created, I knew that's where I wanted to be. And he had really just been with TNA for a couple of years at that point. So if that's where you want it to be, this is the card you're dealt. And that's kind of how I feel.
Anthony out there with the grass ain't always greener on the other side. You got the Karrion Kross, grow your own yard, buy some fertilizer.
Exactly.
But Eric, hey, Wrestling for Life buddies, happy Emergence Eve. Yes, right, but then literally the day before Emergence.
Yeah, absolutely. Emergence Eve. I'm excited for tomorrow. It's gonna be good.
And I know that we be watching Better Wrestling Show tonight. Yeah, we don't have to fully talk about last night, but I saw someone else, another content creator, that even I think they were trying to be positive with it, but said it seemed like Dynamite was drunk last night, and I think that kind of fits. That kind of checks out.
I did not watch Dynamite, but that is funny. Now I kind of want to go back and watch it just to see how drunk it was.
It started off. It started off with Hangman and MJF. You know, started off having a couple sips, having a drink. By the end, you're getting multi-person matches again, and we're sloppy. We're overrunning off the rails there. But
that sounds like typical Wednesday nights,
right? Alexis, WWE signs Microman. Would you call that a micro transaction?
I guess so, right?
Alexis, TNA, she's with you, could be moved to the CW, moved to Wednesday nights. I don't think so. I don't believe that would be a smart strategy, like you even said, of they're coming just new to TV. The last thing you really need to do when you just are trying to get your audience on TV is try and pick a fight.
Exactly. And TNA has established itself on Thursday nights for a very long time. They've had different nights here and there, but Thursdays is really TNA, and that's kind of where they need to stay.
Can I say something, and I don't mean to offend you, of that I feel like if TNA went head-to-head with Dynamite, I know, again, coming off of me just saying Dynamite last night was drunk, but it's sobered up now. It's going to rehab. It's checking in. It's going the John Moxley route. I don't know if TNA is a slam dunk to beat Dynamite every week in and out. Like, that would be actually, I think, could be a war per se, if anything. I don't like, that's why I would say if I'm TNA, I don't go there, because that's not a sheer victory. That's not a clear win.
And yeah, and honestly, the statement, didn't offend me, but I agree with you because,
Mm,
like I said earlier, we don't know TNA's true ratings, right? TNA could premiere on the CW. I'm just using that as an example since it's the rumors and go head to head with Dynamite, and TNA is only pulling 50,000 viewers, right? And
right.
Dynamite is doing 500 to about 800 roughly. So it's like we don't even know where TNA stands. So I just think it would be a bold strategy and a bold move to do that. If you want to bet on yourself, great. But me personally, stick to Thursday nights until you can find your footing, find your fan base on national television, and then see from there.
Yeah, you're just getting off the Ocho network. Let's, bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them. If you're going to try and pick a fight, and again, like you said, if then you get it, say, exposed of 100,000 viewers turned into Thursday Night Impact and all that. So then now you're the one that picked a fight. Now you look even in a weaker position because you
Right.
kind of started this shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
But Dylan, hashtag WFU. Yes, yes, yes. I got a rapid fire. We're 3 minutes left here. Joe Black becoming a member. Shout out, by the way, we will
Awesome.
have the members only stream out there where we're doing the fantasy draft and everything as well. So if you want to see me and KJ sweat it out in our war rooms, pause. You can tune in for that. Clay, what up? Hassan, what up? Wrestling God. AD and AZ. It's getting more confusing now because it's still the ats. I'm still getting used to it. MDB, what up? The big ones, I can see it beating AW at some point. Could very much be a thing.
Oh yeah.
Could very much be a thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that could happen in the future. It could happen in the first episode, if they did it like that. But we'll see.
You don't know that, but they don't know the real appeal and everything.
Mhm.
You don't want to, the first time you get in a pool, you don't jump off the high board. You
Yeah.
just dip your toe in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anthony, what up? Damian, Wesley, Vance, Dawn. As long as they get a TV deal that I can watch it, I'm not really picky on the night. Well, there you go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even if it's on Wednesday night, guess what I'll be watching? TNA.
Right.
That's just the thing.
Oh, I love this stuff from Jose. We got Anthony Powers in the big chair tonight. Vance, that sounds like some dirt sheet, BS fake rumors just to stir up the crybabies. IWC, yes, and that's why we're the WFU. We broke it down and made sense of it in 2 seconds. That Twitter took you in 24 hours.
Exactly, right? I mean, when I found out, I just tweeted out one simple sentence. I didn't have to do a whole paragraph.
and then retweet it, and then retweet it, and
Exactly.
then quote tweet everybody that retweeted your shit and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hot Pockets are definitely overrated. I'm not even going to get into the whole Hot Pocket conversation because we should be starting off at any minute here. Yeah, but Moxley stumbling home, having throwing a Hot Pocket in the microwave seems like that's fresh in his mind. Why that might be the memory he goes to. I don't know if you get the context.
Yeah, I don't. Did something happen?
I will say this real quick: as TNA should be popping off at any minute. Moxley was doing CNN local television, hyping up the Dynamite because it was in Cincinnati, his hometown, and everything, and his comparison to how explosive Dynamite was. You could use Dynamite or TNT or anything, see how it's already got an explosive name. He referenced it to a Hot Pocket that had been overcooked and exploded in the microwave, of how explosive and how over the top and how much you needed to be there because it was like an exploded Hot Pocket in your microwave.
He does understand once it's explode, you have to clean up the mess that it made.
Yeah, well, sometimes that shit goes so smooth thoughts go over a bald head, I guess.
I guess so.
That's the whole thing. Yeah. IWC, I watch crap. Oh,
I like that.
I'm going to start that because that might be a thing. That's definitely that. I like that. That's a nice one, Anthony.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Right.
As if I feel like TNA is late. Okay, there we go.
They're like us at times, fashionably late. Fashionably late. We might have it set for 7:45. We might show up at 7:47.
Right.
It is fashionably late.
Looks like we got a recap of last week. You got Trick Williams.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think we're good.
Is this the last episode of everyone's favorite non-alcoholic wrestling show of Trick NA with him as champion?
Good question. I don't think Moose does it. I think Trick Williams finds a way to retain. I don't really think Trick loses that title until Bound for Glory. But I do think the Knockouts title may change hands before Bound for Glory. I don't know if it's Heat Wave, but I feel like the Knockouts title will change hands before Bound for Glory.
The Knockouts division as a whole is very much, I almost want to say NXT heavy. They've been featured a lot over there. Like they're the most featured thing on both shows almost.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, we had Ash and Masha this week. I mean, we got Fatal Influence over jumping ship to TNA a little bit. So yeah, I mean, it's really heavy between those two. And shout out to Shayna Baszler who praised the Knockouts division. So it's like, yeah, the Knockouts division is doing some great things.
Shayna's somebody who I could see if she wasn't aging in WWE and kind of went that route, she could be in the Knockouts division. I could see her as Knockouts champ. Her versus Masha Slamovich, sign me the fuck up.
Exactly. Like I would be here for that match. That would be excellent to have that. I mean, she even said don't count out, TNA. But she says she's been in talks with AEW. I don't know if that's the right place for her, but no. I don't know much of anything. So
quote of the night. I don't know much of anything from Anthony. But yes, I see everyone saying that put the IWC I watch crap on a t-shirt. I feel like that's what most of the IWC just always says they're watching. If I watch crap, they don't enjoy anything. But
did you get the entrance cut to the show to Moose?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I thought something.
We're good. I think we're watching it on the TNA Plus app, which, hashtag not sponsored.
Right. But it looks like Moose has been attacked backstage.
Dark State, deep fake, don't care, deep fake, deep quake, shit take. That like would be my only guess.
Deep fake is good. I like that one.
I don't like the whole fucking group, but that would be my only guess.
Oh yeah, I don't like the group at all. They're a waste of time.
Holding out for them.
They are a waste of time.
Jesus. Oh, we didn't even mention real quick. I didn't even know this slide was here because I didn't check the slides beforehand. Poor production on planning on my part. The top 3 chats from last night: Kid Rivos, Mega, and Denisha. So shout out all y'all.
Shout out.
Let's see who can be the top 3 for tomorrow when we're here for SmackDown, where we'll also be watching Emergence as well.
Absolutely.
We right now have the System taking on Trick Williams in First Class. I want to answer Jose's comment real quick because I know I've had it up for a minute as I got First Class coming out right now. But I was going to also bring up of the whole Shantae the Adonis thing. But Cultaholics reported WWE wants TNA to be a second biggest company over AW, and now AW sickos are outraged. How do you guys feel? Okay, fair enough. I didn't realize we had pretty much already touched on that one.
Right. Yeah, we've already touched on that. I would say, though, to the AEW outrage, you can drop a pin and say something bad about AEW and they'll be outraged about it. So it doesn't take much for that to happen.
Fair enough. But Z-Man Scar, what up? As we're already fighting underway. So folks, let us know who you got, whether you got the System or you got First Class with Trick, whether you're tricking up into First Class or you got the System running through you, I guess.
Right. I feel like here the System wins. If Trick retains tomorrow, I think the System wins because whoever gets the upper hand loses tomorrow, right? Is that how that works? Is that the laws of wrestling?
He who goes over on the go home show goes under on the pay-per-view. Thus is the laws of wrestling, one of them.
So yeah, so if the System wins tonight, even though Moose is not in this match, I feel like Trick retains tomorrow.
Yeah, the peripherals there.
Right.
Because you could see AJ Francis, you could see First Class as RM Girl saying my TNA doesn't start until 9. Well, hashtag spoilers, we got you ahead of time. But could you see an Ashante the Adonis involved in First Class? He shows up at Emergence. He's friends with AJ Francis. I kind of like the whole pairing of Trick with First Class. If almost Trick was a TNA guy instead of a WWE guy, just let him fucking run with it.
Exactly. I would like to see Ashante the Adonis like in TNA. I think that'll work for him. He joins up with AJ Francis. That would be cool. And you expand First Class a little bit. Since Casey Navarro is going to be out now, knowing a year. Yeah, have Adonis be a part of First Class. I like that a lot.
Yeah, well, it makes sense if he's, you know, IRL, I think, friends with AJ, and even AJ was kind of out there petitioning for it the second he kind of put out that he was leaving, which is anyone really surprised? There's no
Right.
We Want Ashante chance or anything. There's not a documentary for Ashante the Adonis.
Right. It's like Shayna Baszler. She was like, I wasn't even really surprised that I got released. She was like, I kind of felt like it was heading that way anyway, because creative really didn't have much for me.
Well, at times when you're a veteran, I feel, and I've heard other veterans, I mean, Chris Stevie Richards has mentioned on his podcast too, of like, when you are a veteran or anything and you kind of get towards that place, Chris, I've seen NFL players mention it. When you're a vet and you get towards that point, you kind of by that point start to see the writing on the wall.
Right.
You know what's going on.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, as Dango just thrown
just
out into the fucking cameraman on the outside.
I don't know if you've seen the tweet by one of the members of the Righteous, but they mentioned Emerge, and everybody has jumped on it like Emergence tomorrow.
I already cut off Jose because I said we already talked about it before and everything with the TNA AEW thing. I think it's TNA is getting used as a weapon of mass distraction to sum everything up. But I can't say the Righteous again because then everyone will have to take a drink because that's become the thing. If I mention the Righteous and especially around Karrion Kross so much, and if there was a way for Kross to still be doing a thing with WWE, if this is shoot work, we can talk about that on a commercial break.
Yes, we definitely got
TNA as a world champion. Holy shit, fuck! You want to make TNA number 2? Well, we just gave you our number 1 draft pick. I almost feel like with WWE, if we just gave you the hottest thing going, here you go, sign them, run to the fucking hills with them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think his name is Ariel, the guy he interviewed with, Karrion Kross. He was like, now,
Ariel
no matter, he said basically right now, no matter where you go, you're going to get the reaction that you were getting in WWE. And so, like you said, sign him to TNA, put the belt on him, and have him run with it.
Right. I will linchpin that to a commercial because that whole interview, we got to talk about that.
Yes.
But Byron, as I got tricked with a front face lock on, I always just still call him Dango. What's his goddamn TNA name?
Shoot, I forgot.
I just keep breaking it down. He's always Dango to me. I always
I totally forgot.
Fair enough, but Byron
chat remind us.
I will say something good about AEW. I want another AEW game to make my 2K try to make WWE games great again.
I think it's JDC.
Yes, that's what people say. JDC. Is it just the letters? Hey, you know me. I'm JDC. Well, and as AJ's got a 1-2 breakup, did you see everything going around? And no, AEW should never try and make another game, or if they do, fucking figure it out because that game was a coaster. I'm glad I got the digital version. I think KJ got the actual physical copy, and he's like, well, I got the most expensive coaster I've ever owned.
I got it free on PlayStation Plus. So
it got to the point it was there and it was $3 in a bin because the control mapping was god awful. But yes, I understand WWE games need to be better-ish. I want Madden to go to 2K. I wanted the NFL to go there, but that's neither here nor there. Did you see TNA might be coming out with a new game?
I did. Yeah. I heard Carlos talk about it, which I'm not opposed to. It wasn't like their first game was bad. I actually enjoyed it.
It was tough as fuck. It
wasn't what everybody was expecting. It was different. I did personally enjoy it back in the day. Would I play it today? Like, absolutely not. But if they take time, which AEW should have did, take time and make a game, I think they can do it.
Yeah. Just don't take 7 years like AEW. But anyways,
Right.
it's Johnny Dango Curtis. So I'm not wrong in calling him Dango then.
No, you're not.
I'm calling him by his middle name.
Exactly.
MDB, I like this. More of a TNA than
Just because he
Anthony
got a
Powers.
name.
That has
Just
now
because
become
he
your
got a
name on
name.
Thursdays, Anthony Powers. Spaz with a $10 super chat. It's the substitute teacher and the teacher's assistant. Thank you, Spaz. Antonio, do you think Moose's face turn is only as long as he's defending TNA against NXT, or is it for good? Emergence and AAA preview up now.
Oh, absolutely. It's just for
what the fuck?
Well,
the first class just snuck a goddamn win.
I didn't even get to finish what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
So does Trick lose tomorrow?
Depends on how we apply the laws of wrestling. Do we see a man who's currently and set out there, I'm a free agent, I can go wherever I want? This is Kevin talking to you. This isn't Karrion.
Yeah.
Could you see someone emerge?
We could see a Karrion Kross emerge. I mean,
that puts a lot of fucking crossroads in the plans here because everyone thought it was Mike Santana. Is everyone still sad Mike Santana didn't win if Karrion Kross ends up somehow winning?
You know the IWC would switch real quick if it was Karrion Kross winning.
Oh yeah, quicker than a hiccup. Yes, as we're running through the card for the rest of the night, but Spaz's comment about Moose's face turn was the question.
Oh yeah, yes. So when it comes to Moose's face turn, I think it's just because we're fighting for TNA and for TNA's World Championships. I don't think he'll be a face very long. He's gonna go back to his. It was just crazy that 1 week you're calling Sami Callihan fat. I mean, over and over again to the next week, like, okay, I'm here to fight for TNA, right? So I think he'll eventually turn back heel soon.
Could, if you were to ever do an invasion angle, I know we've got Doomsday and Secret Wars and all that shit showing up in the Marvel universe. We've got multiverse. You got TNA collides with NXT, and you do the invasion angle on a micro scale. Moose is the guy of I'm the guy defending TNA, and then he's the first guy that jumps and sides with WWE because he's kind of almost done all but put it out there. I'd love to be over somewhere else. This is I lost the X Division title. There's so much more for me to do. I don't know if it's here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like he would be a traitor and switch over to WWE. I can even see them pulling the card of Jordan Grace having to decide. Like, she spent all her years in TNA. Now she's in WWE. What does Jordan Grace have to do? Does she defend the honor of TNA or does she stick with WWE and NXT? So you can have that too.
She flips to the other side of she's kind of like when all the ECW guys are with the WWE guys trying to kick out the WCW guys, and they all turn and just start going at the WWE guys.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Man, I really want something like that to happen. It's just, I guess it takes time, but yeah, I want that to happen so bad.
Fair enough. Salvador, what up? But speaking of things that people want to happen bad, as we're in a commercial break, and that's my way of a transition. The Kross interview, you've seen it, you've absorbed it, you've taken it in. Your thoughts, your feelings, sir. Work, not work.
I'm about 95% sure that this is real. I feel like this is not a work. I think I was more convinced when he said that when they called me, they offered me a contract, but Scarlett wasn't offered anything, or we would sign you before we got to Scarlett, right? That was the eye opener. I know he was asked point blank, like, is this a work? Is this real? And that's the question he was asking. He was like, this is real. Like, this is real life. This is happening. And I mean, with all the stuff coming out today, you know, I was just scrolling through Twitter. He has bookings coming up, you know, I think bookings like in the next week or so. I really think he's not in WWE. He's not signed at all.
does it just so happen to be right around when you would be taking time to do a book tour and everything? So we might not need you too much on the road, and we can make an excuse as to why you're not here, and you can go and do all these tours, and you can fly, and you don't gotta travel quite so hectically and all that.
I would say that until, you know, I started to see that they're booking wrestling conventions and stuff like that, and WWE superstars don't do.
Sell the gimmick.
I mean, I'm just saying WWE superstars don't do outside conventions if it's not WWE. But
Right,
I really believe,
I also don't think that WWE
because
wrestlers
if
show up
we're
on
gonna
talk
go this
shows and host
far,
shows
if we're
faking
gonna
a
go
knee
this
injury.
far to be a work, I think it's kind of dumb. If we go this far to be
I
a
don't
work,
know. I think this
it's
is
kind of
an
dumb.
Emmy. I think this is an Emmy. If this was a work, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think this is straight I'm of the mind of that if this is a work, then Karrion Kross deserves a fucking Academy Award,
right?
because he comes across so genuine and so down to earth and everything. And again, I even mentioned in our group chat of he's not raising his voice. He's calm, cool, collected. He still wants to work there. And I really admire the whole standing on business of you've got 24 hours to sign it. But right, but how did you get to this number? Again, I was a top merch mover. I'm the top trending fucking thing on Twitter right now. How did you get to this number? And you're going to offer me a contract, but I have to wait and accept your contract within 24 hours to see and hope that my wife gets a contract as well. He's such a genuine and likable guy that I think everyone wants this to be a work. Everyone wants to see him succeed in the end and see the happy ending to it all. And I worry and I wonder if that's going to be the case. I think this is also still, he needs to capitalize on all the momentum he has. Because if this falls off in 2 months, this could be, if R-Truth was still on the Indies, would he still be as over 2 months after if there wasn't as much traction and everything going? I think this is a lot of him. I'm running with all the momentum I've got right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he knows he has so much momentum. He knows he has so much support by the fans. And yeah, and honestly, yeah, I know you were playing devil's advocate. Because I think we both kind of agree we don't think this is a work anymore, right? We think it's kind of.
I want it to be a work.
Yeah,
I don't think it is. And like I said, to me, if it is, Academy Award level acting, because I am captivated by everything he says.
Oh yeah,
and he's out there going the full gimmick. He's living the full lifestyle of it, like you said, doing cons, doing conventions. They've got wrestling tees up, but also their shirts are still up full price on WWE's shop.
That's true, but sometimes the WWE shop shirts are still up.
Is it because they know they still get full price for them?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a money grab by WWE. They're still gonna get full price for those shirts. Absolutely.
Right. But I have Danny Luna coming out right now. I'm kind of slightly annoyed that they haven't given her more of a singles run since the whole breakup with Spitfire and all of that. She just instantly latched on to Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
But we have a tag team action play of Danny Luna and Indy Hartwell versus Myla Grace and Harley Hudson. And I had to look at the graphic we have to remember everyone involved, especially on the right side of that team and everything. But yes, let us know who you're taking. And again, also, I know me and Anthony are talking a lot and everything, and I'm trying to click on everybody. And we do have the super chats, the super stickers, and all of that to make sure your voice gets heard. Speaking of which, I know Spaz had one. I'll say something nice about AW for $5. Sometimes it's not on, oh God, but on the hundos, if TNA gets a solid deal and slips to Wednesday, I'm a laugh hard. I don't know. I know we've talked about that. That's kind of, you might be punching outside your weight class.
A little bit, just a little bit at the beginning. I feel like give it 6 months. And if them numbers is looking good, go ahead and do what you have to do. That's kind of how I feel.
Get an official rating first. Like, let us know where you actually, I know people still fucking hate up bringing the ratings as a thing, but they do still matter, at least to the fucking companies.
Right. Yeah, they matter to the companies, they matter to the networks. I mean, shows still get canceled, to this day. So ratings do matter in a way. But yeah, stick to your guns, stick to Thursday nights. That's where the fan base is. That's where the fan base loves you. TNA Thursdays is where it needs to be for me.
Well, and to make the counter argument with this, and I'll ask you real quick, who do you have for this match? So do you have Danny Luna and Indy, or do you have the newcomers?
I'm gonna take Danny Luna and Indy Hartwell. I like Myla Grace and Harley Hudson though. I hope soon they can really be in that tag team picture.
I'm going to take or Grace and H, I guess is what I was halfway going to call them. I was going to call them the newcomers, and my brain slipped up. But I want Danny and Indy to lose because I want a Danny and Indy feud. I want Danny Luna as an actual singles competitor. We've seen her for fucking 2 years plus now at this point, strictly in tag team matches for the most part. I really am a big fan of her. This is me getting on a fucking high horse. I want to see her at least towards a knockouts title, or at least contending in that division, especially now that you split her and Jody Thread up. Make her a single star. Do something with her.
And I thought that's where we were kind of going when they split up, with Danny Luna being a singles competitor. I feel like right now, since the knockouts world title scene is so mixed up with NXT right now, I feel like if that wasn't the case, I feel like Danny Luna would be challenging for the knockouts title. But they can also have side feuds, like you said. Danny and Indy in a feud would be perfect. But yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I really like Danny Luna.
Fair enough. I halfway sell you on a different prediction.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit.
Fair enough. Denisha, what up? Teddy, #fire sale. No, they're making all the monies right now. TKO was making money hand over fist.
Right?
Yeah. Nick want to get on a horse when KJ isn't here. I'm the one who pulled him over. It was me all along, folks. I was the Winter Soldier to fucking KJ there, I guess. But Harley with a 2 count on Danny.
Yeah.
Harley Hudson looking just like and I like that. How? Huh? She looks, if I'm remembering correctly, Harley Hudson's the one that looks like, so what? I'm still a rock star.
Oh, by
Pink. Yeah.
That song by Pink.
Yeah. Trust me, my singing voice was off key, worse than ever. Oh,
so they were just advertising the TNA Knockouts World Title match happening at Heat Wave. It's Ash, JC, and Masha in a triple threat.
On top of, we're already going to have the Elegances defending the titles at Emergence and all that. We're getting everything popping up, and we're having the whole convention tonight here.
Yes, we're having the whole. Is that what it's called? A convention, or
I don't know. I can find
a summit.
Summit. I was close.
Yeah, we're having the whole summit tonight. I mean,
as Indy Hartwell
as Indy and Danny win. See, I'm glad
that is 2 matches in a row. We have missed the finish, sir.
That is true. We've been talking a lot.
Well, she just hits like the glam slam, like twisting glam slam a bit and everything, and then just 1, 2, 3. I get that newcomers, it's like they're probably 4th or 5th match in TNA.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm kind of, here we go with the tension. No, they're gonna just shake fucking hands. I thought Danny Luna was gonna try and cause issue. What the? I just don't want. We're gonna keep forcing people who should probably be singles competitors into tag teams because that's what WWE's doing, because they can't build actual fucking women's tag teams. Oh, Rosemary.
Oh shoot! We haven't seen Rosemary in months. Oh!
Now, everyone, get out your Pokédex of what the green mist means, because Julia Hart has the black mist. I think Asuka at times has had the red mist. Now we had the green mist, which is Muta's specialty. I believe in my mist decks, my wrestling Pokédex, that was poison.
Right? I think that is poison. Green is poison, I think.
Red's burning.
Yeah.
And then black's the corruption. It's like fucking venom.
Right. You're exactly right. So I'm actually interested right now because we haven't seen Rosemary. We haven't seen Rosemary in a minute, honestly. So Rosemary and Indy Hartwell in a feud, I think that's something we can cook with a little bit.
Does Rosemary have a partner though? Because if it's a tag team player, of who would she bring back? I mean, I can instantly think of a
Jessica
name.
Havoc,
Yep, you read my mind.
and we get the return of Decay.
Sammy Callahan's there. I mean, Christ Almighty, maybe TNA starts to get a little bit spooky around the
Just a
fall
little bit.
season and everything. If you start to get that, and then you add Cross and the Righteous, oh, we could get ourselves a nice little, Halloween fall season. Or could it be an Abaddon? Because you see Rosemary and Abaddon as a tag team. I don't know if Jessica's fully like retired or anything. She's been much more Twitch streamer than anything.
Yeah.
Abaddon and Rosemary, that kind of almost feels like passing of the torch.
Yeah, we could get Abaddon and Rosemary. We could get Abaddon and Wendy Chu.
Fuck off. We're long enough in the stream at this point, I can swear 100%. So yeah, no, 100. Wendy Chu, no. I mean, I'll have to endure it, just like you have to endure Austin Powers jokes and everything, I guess, when we're here every Thursday. But yeah.
You want to see Wendy Chu back.
I don't want to see Wendy Chu even in my goddamn nightmares at all, ever. Never again. And honestly, at this point, I don't know if you've seen this, and I'll halfway bring this up as we're in a commercial. Nikita Lyons.
I haven't
Girl,
seen
how?
I haven't seen anything with Nikita Lyons, even though I've kind of avoided it. Let's just be honest.
Made a long story short, if she was getting confused by reels and TikToks about why you can still at times early in the early mornings still see the moon when you also see the sun come up and everything like that. And I already am not the biggest fan of her because, I don't think she can exactly wrestle. But yeah, I mean, reflection and fucking easy science, a goddamn Google search can help you, my lady, instead of getting confused by TikToks. But I digress.
Oh my god. Sometimes you can even see the moon in the middle of the afternoon. Like, I've seen it. I think,
but that's a paper moon or a flat. She was going down that whole rabbit hole. It's one of those.
She's one of those
rabbit hole.
She's probably one of those ones that thinks the Earth is flat.
No, she was just, again, I'm not putting words in mouth, even though, yeah,
I'll say it.
Fair enough. No, she seems like she was just going down one of those rabbit holes, and again got caught up in very much that younger generation. I'll say respectfully, as I'm a whopping 36, about to be 37, of believed TikTok and reels were real. That's why they're called reels, type of thing.
Yeah. Wow. I'm glad I didn't see that.
Fair enough. Moving on.
I'm so glad I didn't see that. That's just a whole mess.
Wendy Chu, Jimmy Chu, Pikachu, Rosemary and 5.
As we go back to last week, where Joe faced off with Mustafa Ali, which was a really fun match from last week.
Yeah.
I think this was the main event.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe. Well, then you had Joe Hendry on NXT this week earlier, too.
Yes, we did have Joe Hendry on this week. Who did he face on Tuesday? I don't remember.
Oh, Christ, somebody, you would ask me that. You were here. I wasn't. You watched this show live.
I watched it and can't even remember who he faced. That's pretty bad.
Well, guess that goes into what I was halfway saying when is Joe Hendry running his course.
Me and KJ talked about that on Tuesday.
Because he's out there with the quarter pound catch crew out there of say his name and he just magically appears. He's Jake from fucking State Farm again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's who we fought. There you go.
Yeah,
figures because quarter pound catch crew.
I honestly don't know where we are with Joe Hendry. He's cooled off a lot, in my opinion. I don't know.
Karrion Kross corrupt him to the dark side,
right? That would be pretty cool. I don't know if Joe Hendry was oversaturated for a minute. He was just kind of everywhere, And it's like, do we not believe in Joe Hendry anymore? I don't know.
No, I think it's you got to here and you didn't have the follow through. It's a little bit like when Cody won the title, and then he kind of felt a bit stale because he didn't have anyone else really to fight or anything. Like,
right.
You had the big moment, and then there was no follow through.
Yeah, his title reign was not great at all. I mean, he faced Jake something, he faced Mike Santana and was it Ethan Page, I think it was, at not Emergence, but Rebellion. I mean, it wasn't much Joe Hendry was doing with that title, to be honest.
Right. Never believed in Joe Hendry. As we're getting you're gonna have to help me with the right hand or the left hand, but they're taking on Matt Cardona. John Skyler.
That's John Skyler taking on,
not John Silver, but John Skyler.
Matt Cardona with a huge pop, a surprisingly huge pop.
Are you surprised that he's not a guy that TNA is locked down, or do they just can they not afford him? Is a weird thing to ask.
I don't think it's
want it.
TNA that doesn't want to lock him down. I think Matt Cardona really wants to go back to WWE. And
that's great, my guy. Sometimes you want to play in the NFL, but sometimes the XFL
is not going to work out. Absolutely. It's just not going to work out. I really think TNA wants to keep him, but he's been talking about how he wants to go back to WWE, and I feel like this is his choice of why he hasn't signed with TNA.
Fair enough. I hate to go back to the Kevin Owens thing, especially because KJ's not here, his doppelganger. But the whole of who's the top guy on the Indies, but doesn't want to be on the Indies. So do you like it here or not, my guy?
Right. I mean, and if he signs with TNA, I mean, he does have a door to at least not be signed with WWE, but could show up on NXT. So I don't know.
Where his wife was now currently showing up.
Right. Absolutely.
But folks, let us know who you're taking, whether you're taking, is he right or left? John Skyler.
John Skyler, I would say he's left.
All right, so left hand versus Matt Cardona. So Stranger versus Matt Cardona. But Daryl Thompson, in Hot Pockets we trust. No, only in Moxley does he trust in Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets that explode. That's where TNA is right now.
Again, it seems, I know he's back on, he's on the wagon. So good on you, John. But a little bit fucking what analogy was that? I know I've had some vitamin thoughts and said some random shit, but who thinks of that? Who is that? That's the best comparable I can get to describe how. Imagine, folks, I said, tune into the Wrestling for Life Network. You ever burnt toast or overburnt your popcorn and it just fucks up your whole microwave type? That's how explosive we are over here. What?
And it's like the first thing I thought of when he said that was like, you have to clean up the mess afterwards.
That I hadn't even thought of that. That was the best part. You done fucked up, right?
Like, come on.
Nick touches on it once and said, nah, no more.
What are we missing?
I don't know. Nick refuses to touch on anything, Denisha. What did Denisha say?
I'm trying to find Denisha's comment. Copy and paste, Denisha. Copy and paste.
No, KJ wanted to ask you Josh Alexander's career in AW, Anthony.
Oh yeah, we did.
Don't say that because we touched on it, but we could still talk about it as Matt Cardona picks up the win as we were 3 for 3 on missed finishes.
That's why I stopped, because I was like, wait a minute, I think we have a pinfall.
We even get to ask you your predictions on this.
And then Jason Hotch takes out Cardona. Do we get somebody to come and save Cardona? No.
Who?
That's what I'm thinking.
Brian Myers? We got the Edge heads. We've had every fucking old tag team reunite. We've had Edge and Christian. We've had the Dudley Boys. We've had the Hardys back together. Now we got the Edge heads back.
We could.
As Both right and left are choking out Matt. I don't know if that's a thing we can say as Ali comes sauntering out.
Ali stands at the top of the ramp. I feel like we may get another match announced for Emergence with this.
Yeah. What do you fully make? Oh, we've got Big Cass Light, Timu Cass.
Like, who is this dude?
This is a test. This is easy if test was in 2025.
And I feel like this name is bad for him. Agent Zero.
He's a big ass zero, man.
Right? And he lays out Matt Cardona.
But so, like, what is this? Why are we just attacking the shit out of a guy who doesn't work here? Oh. Well, we've had the multiple swerves of like Tasha Steelz was in the group, but it was all just a work to try and, pull people closer. This has been a little all over.
It has been a little bit all over the place. And we just don't really know who this other guy is. So
he looks like minimum 10 years older than everybody else.
Right. Oh, we got Jody and Indy in the back.
KJ's favorite women's wrestlers. Oh, the fake lashes are still there.
Right. The fake lashes.
Well, no, because she's got one on and one off, and the one that she has on is the one she got spatted.
Oh, seems like it's a little tension between Danny Luna and Jody Threat.
Is that EY's older brother or something?
He looks like him and sounds like him just a little bit.
He's the evolved form between Luther and EY.
Right.
He's the the Charizard, or no, the fucking Charmeleon between Charizard and Charmander. Yeah, I know my Pokemon. Shut up. AD and AZ, what the hell? I come back and we're talking about Nick touching something. What the fuck? Dang, I always missed the good stuff. I feel like I'm still sitting at the kiddie table. Well, don't worry. I feel like I'm still there because I don't know what we're talking about with me touching things.
Right. There's a lot of touching going on. I don't know how
hands,
good that is.
Touching hands. Now you're just gonna bring up my New Englander and just need to start singing Sweet Caroline. But up next, we're getting the Knockout Summit.
The Emergence Knockouts Tag Team Summit. Interesting. As we head to commercial now.
Do you have a favorite in this match, sir?
I personally think that the Elegance brand retains. But there is a great opportunity for the Fatal Influence to take all the Knockouts gold that TNA has to offer, right? And I really like the Iconics, the new team of Zaya Brookside and Lei Ying Lee. Not too sure about just yet. If I had to choose the winner, it would be the Elegance brand. The runner-ups would be Fatal Influence.
Fair enough. Is it one of those, you either clean the table one way, you clean the table the other way, of either the Elegances leave with everything or Fatal Influences leave with everything?
I think so.
Are they tied enough that you either have Ash and the Elegances all leave with gold and take the TNA titles home, or Fatal Influence just runs the roughshod?
Right, it could be either one of those two, and I could potentially see the Elegance brand holding all the gold, because honestly, I believe they're using the Freebird rule with the Knockouts tag team titles, because M by Elegance is defending the titles tomorrow, it seems like, from this graphic and then the graphic that's on their website. Right. So it would make sense if, M and Heather are the tag team champions, and then Ash wins at the next NXT pay-per-view and wins the title back at a heat wave. So
fair enough. I almost want, and I'm partial to Fallon a little bit, but Fatal Influences run the table, and then we start to get that TNA's super on the back foot, and now we actually need to unite. Of this is you get, like we talked about before, you get that the Avengers have to take down Thanos. Of they're collecting all the TNA titles. We need to go and win that shit back, and you get a Worlds Collide. I want to see a straight up crossover pay-per-view at least between TNA and WWE, and just down the center of like who wins what and everything, of actually have battle lines be drawn.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that could take place with, Fatal Influence taking all the gold. So either one, I don't feel like is a bad choice. But yeah, I like
Jason
your
lose
pitch
the
as well.
NXT title and still keep the Knockouts title too.
Could be. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's an opportunity for them to hold all the gold for TNA. I mean, and I don't think TNA would be opposed to it either.
Well, I'm saying even if the Fatal Influence stopped holding NXT gold and still moved that along and just held TNA gold, and you now have them as TNA talent, essentially. It's a little bit like Trick of Trick's a bit more almost a TNA talent at this
Talent
point
more than
he
he's
is.
yeah.
And again, I
mean,
think it helps that agreement.
oh yeah, absolutely. And it'll help the Knockouts tag team division too, honestly.
Mm-hmm. As I got Cardona and Tasha Steelz backstage right now. I wanted to click on this before I take a brief pause, but I really like the hats, Anthony and Big Nick. Yeah, it's the Chapeau Show, not the Chappelle Show. It's the Chapeau Show. Yes, sir. I will be back at it like a jackrabbit. As you
All right. So as Nick takes his pause here, we are back with TNA where Matt Cardona was asking Tasha Steelz for a match with Ali at Emergence tomorrow, which I think would be a fun match to add to the card. But right now we're showing NXT from this past week with JC Jane being pinned by Kalani Jordan. So I don't know. This is interesting. I didn't see this part of NXT. I didn't know that JC Jane was pinned, but I do know of the match at Heatwave, which they're mentioning now. So I like Richard's comment down there. As TNA rolls on with backstage segments from NXT, I miss Tasha as a singles wrestler. I agree with you. Big fan of Tasha Steelz. I think everybody kind of knows that here on the channel that I love Tasha Steelz. She calls herself the greatest that beat the greatest because she pinned Mickey James, right? And she won the then Impact Knockouts World title. So yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I want Tasha Steelz to be back as a singles competitor in TNA, and maybe that'll happen. Maybe that'll happen. Daryl is asking how do I feel about Killer Kelly being joined with Rosemary? Didn't even think that was that wasn't even a possibility in my mind to even think about. I'm gonna get back to your question. As next Tuesday on the CW, the Elegance brand will be facing a Fatal Influence in a 6-woman tag team match. That should be really fun. And seeing Ash back in a WWE ring would be very, very cool too. But to get back to your question, that didn't even cross my mind. We're not doing anything with Killer Kelly. She lost to Masha in that chain match, I think it was about a month and a half ago. So Killer Kelly and Rosemary teaming up, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice at all. I actually like that. As we are back with TNA, and Santino is in the ring as we are at the Emergence Knockouts Tag Team Summit. So this should be fun. Let's see if I can catch up here. I think Nick is asking what happened to Savannah Evans. So Savannah Evans' contract ran out around the time of Rebellion, maybe last year, or this year, I should say. So she's actually running the indie scene kind of right now. She's actually going to be here, I believe, in Atlanta in the next couple of weeks. I was thinking about going to the show, but it was pretty far from where I live, so I don't know. As the summit has begun, we got the Elegance brand, Heather and M by Elegance coming out for the tag team summit. This should be good. I think, as Anthony down here is saying, I think this is gonna happen. Make Tessa B versus Gia Miller a match. I think that's gonna happen. Last week on TNA Impact, Gia basically said, "If you ever touch me again, I will kill you." She didn't basically said that. She said that. So Gia, if anybody doesn't know this, Gia has basically been a wrestler. She wrestles on the indie scene. I believe I've seen her in Wrestling Revolver. So Gia has some wrestling background. So that's definitely going to be something that happens soon. All right. So the next tag team that comes out in this summit is Zaya Brookside and Lei Ying Lee. And if anybody doesn't know, Tessa Blanchard is still suspended. So she was suspended after she attacked Gia Miller. Gia Miller was off TV for 2.5, 3 weeks ish. Don't know when Tessa returns. So that could be tomorrow at Emergence. That could be I think their next pay-per-view is Victory Road in September, close to the end of September. So there's a lot going on here. MDB tells me not to ignore his comments. I'm definitely going to ignore his comments while I'm in control of the comment section, right? That's gonna happen. The inspiration is up next in this tag team summit. As I try to get back to the comments here, Anthony again, Gia stood on business. I've always been a fan of Gia Miller's like backstage work. I think she's just a fun person. If you watch the Explosion, if you watch TNA Explosion every Friday, she does this show where it's like behind the ring, I think. So she interviews certain wrestlers in TNA. They don't talk about wrestling. They talk about their personal lives, what they're doing in their personal lives, what TV shows they're watching. It's pretty cool. So you get kind of a personal feel with Gia Miller with those shows. So I like that. Damien says, I kind of want to see the inspiration become the Knockouts Tag Team Champions. I like the inspiration. I like them in TNA as the Iconics. They could take this victory tomorrow, honestly. The Elegance brand, they've been champions. I want to say they won them at Genesis. If not Genesis, it was Sacrifice. But they've held those titles for a good 6 months, whether it was at Genesis or at Sacrifice. If there was time to drop the titles, it would be now. I mean, that's why I picked Fatal Influence to be the backup winners for tomorrow's Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. Denisha, don't forget about your question about Josh Alexander. So earlier, I basically said I had two feelings about Josh Alexander. One thing is that he did big things in TNA, and I wasn't surprised that when he jumped ship to AEW, that he's being used like Deonna Purrazzo, non-existent. But my second thing is, a couple of months ago, after he signed with AEW, he said as soon as AEW was created, he said he knew he wanted to be in AEW. This was still while he was signed with TNA and only had been with TNA maybe for a couple of years. So if he always wanted to be with AEW, well, he sees where he is now, and it's not the top guy. That's on him. But the summit has started. M by Elegance has the mic. So I'm going to stop talking a little bit just to hear what they have to say, and I'll kind of jump in here as Zaya Brookside takes the mic and Lei Ying Lee takes it away from her. She takes it away from her, and she's speaking in her native language, so I can't interpret that. Brookside says she's been underestimated her whole life. And she says she's agreeing with Lei Ying Lee, I should say. And Lei Ying Lee said they were going to win this match, basically beat all of them. And Fatal Influence making some good conversation here, saying that the history states that NXT is winning the TNA titles. It's crazy that out of all the matches happening tomorrow, that this is like the one I'm really excited for. I think that it's going to be a great match. And now the Iconics have the mic here. Now, when it comes to the Iconics, they have, or the Inspiration, they have some great mic skills. I really like them. So they're saying their goal is to become a two-time Knockouts Tag Team Champions, as all of the tag teams are in each other's face right now. Santino's trying to break them apart. So Santino gives them 5 seconds to have a brawl, and he says, "Get it out your system." And now he's calling security. This is crazy. I like this. This was fun. This might have been the best thing so far tonight on TNA. Anthony is going with the Elegance brand. I'm taking the Elegance brand. Now, Richard said he doesn't like the Summit promos. They do the same thing in NXT. They come off awkward and cringe. I actually enjoyed this one a little bit. But I do get what you're saying. I might have enjoyed this more because so far we're 52 minutes into TNA, and nothing has really jumped out at me. Nothing has really been go home-ish of this show except this. And I just noticed anyway a trend with TNA that their go home shows are not the best. But Cassie Lee to the top, taking out members of the security and some of the women in the match. Everybody going to the top rope. So early predictions for tomorrow. Well, it's actually really not early predictions because this is happening tomorrow. Who are you taking? Drop it in the chat. Who are you taking? Are you taking the Elegance brand? Are you taking the Inspiration, Fatal Influence, or Zaya Brookside and Lei Ying Lee? All right, so we got Denisha saying she's going with Fatal Influence, which like I said, they're my runner-ups. We got Anthony anything Elegance cake fight. That's hilarious. MDB says the Fatal Influence or Fatal Influenza. Oh, we got Rosemary. Let me stop talking. So Rosemary said we're gonna cut out your heart to Indy. So it looks like this is Indy's next stop before she can get to the TNA Knockouts World title. This is interesting. As Nick returns, I think this is interesting.
Oh yeah, well, is it the best thing Rosemary's had in a minute, especially as a singles competitor?
Oh yeah, the last thing she really had was her feud with Masha. That was at the beginning of January, and really we hadn't seen her much since. Mm-hmm. So having Indy take on Rosemary to get to the Knockouts title, I think is perfect. I think that's good.
Oh yeah, and it's somebody that's an established veteran that's a legend in that brand.
Right. She's been there for so many years, and she's been a footprint for the knockouts division for a long time.
Right. Well, speaking of footprints, I think we're getting an update on the footprints that might be on Moose's. We're getting an injury report update. I like how they do like the ESPN, like da 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 da.
Yeah, I like that. So
breaking news: Moose got his ass kicked earlier tonight. You all watched it, but we're keeping you reminding that he got his ass kicked earlier tonight. Stay tuned for Fighting Frizzies at 11.
Right.
And we're getting an update too on the Poison Mist. But I mentioned something when I was on my pause, or it popped into my head. I threw it in the chat. When you were mentioning the influence, the what's the name? The Aussie gals, Christ Almighty. Inspiration. There we go. They started with an I. What if Dakota Kai, rhyming now, showed up and was involved with them? Of now she's completely a free agent, and she's been all quiet on the Western Front as to what she might be doing now that she's past them 90 days. I know Bo to be, Eddie Thorpe, Carl Fredericks is kind of doing fucking all and just more being an activist, which is fine. But could you see a Dakota Kai in TNA?
I would like to see Dakota Kai in TNA. I think she would work in the knockouts division. She's a phenomenal wrestler. I really liked a lot of her matches in WWE. Having her join forces, I think you said with the Iconics or the Inspiration.
Yes, the Inspiration. It's funny. They have two I names, and I still managed to pick one that wasn't either of those.
if she joined forces with them, I think that would be a force to be reckoned with, to be honest. I would like to see it. That's a good that's definitely a good assumption there, and something that could potentially happen.
Well, you got the little Aussie New Zealand connection and all of that, but yeah.
Right, absolutely.
To y'all WWE to fire Dark State members, which would be a bad idea? Josh, I don't know if you fully thought that comment through. I don't know if anyone's wanting to say Dark State should get fired. I think that's an over exaggeration, especially coming from someone who's been adamant all the way back to they can't keep the mask up of didn't like the group. I just, even if they broke apart right now, they would still not be any more relevant than they are the sum of their parts. So that's the thing, is I think it's done nothing for any party involved.
Right, absolutely. I mean, they haven't did much of anything. The lights go out and then they come and attack people, and that's it. None of them are interesting. I mean,
there's the one homie that keeps talking about we're gonna attack them from behind over and over and over and over again and all that. Yeah, Cutler James there, but
I was just about to mention. Cutler James.
Yeah, no, but it's one of those of I think that they'd almost be better of if they were split up and separate than them as this amalgamation that isn't working. I know, honestly, I'm full ears to it. Trust me, I hear it every fucking Tuesday, and anytime I mention them with KJ, of how they're still working, of how they're this impactful faction and they're something. So if there's an outcry for them, let me know. But I almost think I'd rather see them all as individuals and see what they can do than them as this collective that kind of is amounting to nothing.
Right. I mean, when it comes to Dark State, I mean, they've been around. Haven't they been around close to a year? I think
I would say they've been most of this year. I would say. Year? I don't know. I don't want to say how much they were in 2024. I would say they're mostly this year thing.
Okay. I mean, they haven't really done much of anything, to be honest. So there's nothing to stand on, but to be boring, I guess.
Well, they keep doing. They just show up and they do. There's no rhyme or reason. They are very. And I know Michael's saying, does anyone see Dark State as a failed copy of the Shield? I feel like they're a failed copy of Retribution, even which was a failed copy of the Shield. Right. If you're a copy of a copy, but. Yeah, and that's not a knock fully on even the talent involved. Yeah. Like Suga out there is probably the most charismatic guy in the group, but I
Yeah,
just don't give a fuck of what they're doing.
right. Yeah, it's like we don't care. That's
Right.
kind of what it is. It's like John Moxley. We don't care what you're doing.
Dark state, all state, no state.
All state.
Lakers of 5. NXT needs big men. And well, they had them for a while, and you've still got it kind of real respectfully with like Oba, Jasper Troy. I think they actually do still have a solid amount of big men. They're just not giants. They just work as big men. And I like that having a guy like Taker, who's the penultimate big man in pro wrestling up there working with them.
Right. I mean, and then when it comes, if we go back to the dark state for a second, I mean, they had their match at Slammiversary against the System and Matt Cardona, and that match was not good at all. And it wasn't the System's and Matt Cardona's fault. It's just, I'm just not a fan of them.
Well, how was the 8-man tag on NXT this week where you had literally the heavy hitters versus Dark State? You had Trick, you had Javon, you had Moose, you had everybody out there in that match. And it was a match. It was more of a showcase, obviously, for one side of the talent, and you had like a squad of jobs.
Right. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I fully agree with you. I'm not a Dark State fan, and if that's an unpopular opinion, that's just gonna be an unpopular opinion.
Anthony prefers light counties instead of dark states. But as I have EY and the North out here.
Right, as they take on Mike Santana.
Yeah, well, how do you feel of where Mike Santana's ended up post-title loss?
Not much has been done. But there's also like not much you can do when you don't have the TNA World Championship in the possession of the company that it's supposed to be on. It's not like he's not doing anything, and that's a good thing. I think since Bound for Glory is a couple of months away, we're middle of August, we got Bound for Glory in the middle of October. So technically 2 months, and actually I think it's 2 months from 2 days ago, because Bound for Glory is October 12th. I think we start to build Mike Santana up again to get to that point of taking that title at Bound for Glory. I would hope so.
Fair enough. I mean, you give yourself a bit of a runway, what have you.
Yeah. Give yourself just a little bit of breathing room.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But folks, let us know who you're taking, whether you're taking Mike Santana or EY. And yeah, I could see that of if you're going to have him go back at it, you're building up to Bound for Glory at this point. Is their biggest show of 2025. Already you've announced what could be arguably your main event of the show, or is one of your biggest marquee matches on the show months in advance. So this is your biggest show of the year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. And now it's 2-on-1 on the outside with Mike Santana being attacked by the other members of the Northern Army.
Is the ref blind? Like, that was clearly obvious for it,
right?
Ramsberg, I see you taking the form of this tall, lanky man. He's just the Monstars, if he just take over somebody else's body. Richard, maybe Dark State are a better Retribution, but they're still not over. Very true. Very true.
Did Retribution even have? I don't remember. Did Retribution even have time to try to get themselves over? I feel like they were very
whole video segments and everything. They had a whole montage before they showed up, and then even then, still it was Mustafa Ali. It was Mia Yim.
That's true. That's true.
It was Christ Almighty Shane Thorne, and I don't know if I'm missing anybody. Yeah, because you had Slapjack, you had Flapjack, you had all those god awful names. It was like they're like the Schism almost.
Do you think Retribution would have worked if they had a live crowd? Because Retribution came out in the COVID era.
Maybe, but also I think it's more of just how they handled it. Of realistically, you had this outside influence force and everything. of you could have honestly, with the heightened tensions of a lot of other shit going on, and I'm not going to touch on the other shit that would have been going on then, you could have really tapped into a lot of that kind of whole vibe, and it's that outside force, all of that, but you had to treat it seriously. They never treated it seriously. No
That's true.
outside force faction has been treated seriously since the Shield.
Right? I kind of agree with you on that. Yeah. Do we count the bloodline?
That's not an outside force. That's inside.
Oh, you said outside. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
outside
You're right,
force.
you're right, you're right.
One of those that seemed like they were intruders, invaders.
That's
The
true.
outsiders.
Yeah. You're about right. Yeah, I agree. Mike Santana taking out everybody.
Right. Yes, you're good whenever, sir. As Richard saying, putting all four unknowns together was a bad idea. They needed a leader, and the NXT crowd knows and relates to. We've halfway talked about it on the channel. If there was a time to where it was rumored, it was thought about to where Trick would have been the one behind everything. If he would have been the CM Punk to the Shield.
Oh, I thought that was it.
We're now just paying attention every time there's a pin. I can't miss
Mike Santana hit the rolling buck 50 for a 2 count.
Big chop up top. Now that would have looked nice if EY didn't lean into it. All right, this is where you chop me, kid. What the fuck? Boston, what up? Boston, you're late. Yeah, you're late to the tea party, as usual. Elbow drop off the top from EY.
Flew halfway across the ring with that elbow drop, too. Mike Santana was pretty far.
Well, I mean, he's a light fellow. I remember he's, X division, and now he's, light heavyweight division feel.
That's true. That's true. Big history in the X division.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh. I know. I don't know. I cannot confirm if this is true or not. Ooh, side slam. 1, 2. But Ace Austin signed to AEW. Cannot confirm nor deny, but that would be a really interesting move, my guy.
Right. I mean, because the former TNA guys that don't have a good track record and history with AEW. So, I mean, look at Josh Alexander. Look at Deonna Purrazzo.
Do you lump him more because of the Bullet Club connection? You lump him up with the Bang Bang Gang?
I mean, you could. Is
that almost like that's a life raft?
They're not really doing much of anything right now.
1,
Spin
2,
the block for the
3
count. And then the Northern Army, comes
instantly
out
jumps him.
Yeah. So it is breaking news. Mustafa Ali will face Matt Cardona tomorrow at Emergence.
There you go.
Yeah.
As Sami Callihan coming down to make the save.
So they are confirming that this match tomorrow, if Sami loses, is his last match. I wish they would put that on the graphic for the match, but they did.
Yeah, that would have been nice to be a big fucking deal going into it, especially a guy that has a history with TNA.
Right, a long history with TNA.
Right.
And I'm like 99% sure it's not on the graphic for tomorrow. I'm just being a little bit picky.
But is that one of those that they've all but signed, sealed, delivered? He's not losing. I mean,
that could be the case. But does he do you have Mike Santana lose tomorrow? Because he's fighting Mike Santana in this match. So it's like, do you have Mike Santana?
Is it no contesta? Does everybody we just forget this all ever happened?
And that could be how you get around
lazy booking.
That could be how you get around it. That might be why it's not on the poster. That this could be Sami. If he loses, this is his last match. So I don't know. I feel like this whole story to begin with, I feel like it shouldn't have even involved Mike Santana. I feel like it should have involved Moose, because Moose was the one that called him fat. So it really could have been Moose, but then they have Moose facing Trick Williams, which I feel like they could have pushed that off until potentially victory road. But I don't know. I'm not a booker. I'm just trying to think out loud for a little bit.
Well, no, it's sometimes the booker needs to get, his hand slapped of what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Of I think
Right.
it's one of those you throw Santana in a thing just to keep him somewhat relevant. And so Moose was out there just doing his best Scott Steiner of you're fat ass. You're 47 and you're 40. You're almost 100 years old. Yeah, what are you going to do? The new Steiner math. If you add 47 and 40, you get 100.
You get 100. When I heard that on Raw, I was like, I mean, it's close to 100, but it's not 100. So,
You didn't account for the 33 and a third % chance.
Right. Oh, man. Crazy.
Hashtag Nick Picky. I didn't even be the one to say this, though. It was Anthony that said that.
Yeah, and I literally said, like, I'm being picky about this, but if it's truly his last match or supposed to be his last match, it should be advertised on the match.
Yeah, that's one thing.
If he loses, Sami Callihan retires. I mean, I think is that not hard? Is that not common knowledge?
Does that not elevate the match? It's one of those of why would you have something? You have an ace up your sleeve. All right, well, the table's now already changed over, and you still got that ace up your sleeve. Of what the fuck are you doing here?
And it was only briefly mentioned on the one episode, which was 2 weeks ago. It wasn't even mentioned last week. And then you bring it up.
Revisionist history. Did they write that away of just we mention it and we say nay? It's kind of like how Seth Rollins was the absolute power, and then all of a sudden it's the Vision.
Exactly. Just like you could even say just like Jonathan Gresham. He went through this whole dark transformation, and then all of a sudden it just stops on TNA television. He comes out as his regular self. It's like we need some explanation. Like you just can't say things and not follow it up.
We need continuity. We need continuity.
Exactly. As for a moment here, I will leave you guys with
speaking of continuity. We're about to break continuity as Anthony's taking a pause.
If I can do this correctly,
don't end it. Don't just.
I'm not going to end the stream. I'm not going to end the stream.
Walk away. Don't close anything. They don't like you. They don't love you like that. Draymond Green. Oh yeah, that's a little bit. So I know exactly what you're referencing, MDB, and that's the Draymond to the Paul Pierce, I think it was. That's what I always said with Goldberg. Of they don't like you like that. They don't love you like that. Yeah, you thought you were Kobe. That's one thing though with the WWE and a guy with like Bill, who's already been an annoyance, who most of his career was in WCW. It's another thing with Sami to where most of his career was in TNA. He was. You're frozen, Nick. Am I frozen still now? Am I good now? Let me know if I'm good. Am I stuck in the froze zone? Am I Mr. Freeze? But yeah, yep, that's exactly right. Yes, thank you. Yeah, no, I got that. But yeah, it is. I would say that with Sami of it's different because he was the TNA guy. He's a guy that they would do a whole thank you letting me know, but they would do a whole video package. Maybe they're saving it for Emergence if they're still going to do that angle, but I wonder if it's one of those more that it was just we mentioned it that one time and we hoped you all forgot about it because we haven't mentioned it since, as we're getting the replays from this past Tuesday to where this became just Job Squad versus the top guys here. Dakota Kai, AW or TNA. I already kind of mentioned of if she was to show up in TNA. I'm really starting to wonder who decides. And I'm not going to knock them. I just want to. I'd be interested in the decision of who, as a free agent, chooses to go to AEW at this point. Not for nothing, I feel like you've kind of been shown a la Vince NXT era, respectfully. You may get pushed for a brief minute, but then you'll get thrown by the wayside. It's just, it'll be interesting to see if AEW can take anybody that shows up now at this point and really fully capitalize and really fully utilize them, because they're struggling on that aspect, I will say. As we do have Kaz's segment coming out, the King's speech of, is Kaz just doing knockoff Chris Jericho a little bit? Because I feel like he kind of is. And even more, especially with all the fucking bandanas and shirts and shit on the goddamn mic state. Yeah. Which, fun fact, anyone actually think that Chris Jericho is going to WWE, or WWE wants Chris Jericho whenever his deal is up to show up, outside of maybe just a one-off appearance? Is that even a thing? But yeah, I've got Kazarian coming out of the King's speech with Frankie Kazarian, the world's worst live wrestling show. But we're also going to get Jake something and Christ almighty, why am I blanking? Steve Macklin coming out here. There we go. Took me half a second. Sean Reed, what is up? Hashtag WFU, WFL fam. So cool to see Big Nick doing a TNA show. Let's go. I do most of the TNA show. I think I do every TNA show. KJ does the Wednesdays by himself. Me and Anthony do the DNAs. It's trade-off here. Yeah, but no, 100% appreciate you, my guy. And that reminds me also, anyone out there, if you're listening, if you're in the fantasy football league, check your goddamn emails. Our draft is Saturday, the 16th at 2:30 Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time, which will be here live for a members-only stream. So you can see me and KJ out here sweating our tuchuses off, in our war rooms you can see the draft strategy live as you look in. We're like the alternate feed on like the NHL or the NFL draft there. Yeah, you can see the war rooms of KJ and I. But then we're also going to be back at it for Triple Mania, everything. Christ, at this point we've got Triple Mania already up. We've got Clash in Paris. We've got Forbidden Door that's going to be bookended with Heat Wave, which I'm still guessing will not end before Heat Wave starts. Just throwing that out there, even though it starts early. And we're going to be out here, I think, early September for House of Glory, where you got Bully Ray and Zilla going at it again. But I got Steve Macklin coming out right now. So again, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. Hit all the buttons. We're ever so close to reaching our goal of 10K. All that. Often imitated, never replicated, never duplicated. Took us, yes, hashtag took us. It's up there with the Biblics. But yes, as I see 60 some odd people kicking it with us right now. Let's see if we can get that up to triple digits. But yeah, spread the good gospel of the wrestling for Life Network out there. We're covering more wrestling than anybody else out there. How many other people out there watching all these shows? And again, take a look. How many people are kind of starting to look like how we do and all that. Just saying. Ace Austin on the taping of Collision. He showed up and officially signed AEW. Fair enough. Well, spoiler alerts, I guess, for anyone. Now, is Collision taping or airing right now? Good question, because it's been circumvented. Could that almost be the backhanded AEW, TNA war of we just have Collision decide to go against Impact? Now, that would be a Tony Khan, an AEW offensive maneuver. That would be interesting. But yeah, so I guess allegedly I cannot confirm nor deny. Maybe Anthony, while he's on his pause, can confirm nor deny. But Ace Austin official as a referee whistle, I guess, with AEW. They're using Kaz like 2002 Miz, or you can even say, honestly, 2025 Miz, 2024 Miz, 2026 Miz. Yeah, I'd give you that. Yeah, he's just the mediator in all this situation. He's like if the Miz and Jericho like fusion danced kind of thing, just crossed over and formed into one being. What's the world to Anthony? What's the world title? What's the difference between the world title and the international title? The international title is pretty much their version of a mid-card title. It's their IC title, their intercontinental, their intercollegiate, interspecies, intergalaxy, what is goddamn AW's version? Well, they had the Undisputed Championship. They had their whole tournament championship. So yeah, it's their mid-card title, it's their IC title, their US title, and then there's the World Championship. Apparently, according to sources, Ace Austin was at the Collision taping. So there you go. Well, that's are your sources, Damien? Because that's what Damien said. But Jake something Goozle and Kaz. Kaz just getting missed. Yes, he's just getting run off here. Jake something, respectfully, and I know I'm going to say a pun probably here, but he would be so much more than something if he actually had a fucking real name. Like, what are you? Even the one called Manders is a more believable name than Jake something. Just saying. As he's looking strong on the go home, which means you go under on the pay-per-view. So we're setting up the whole match on Emergence of Jake something versus Steve Macklin for the international title. And I believe it has a stipulation. It is no disqualification, no count-out match. Yes, so it does have, it's basically false or no disqualification match. Yes. Ace Austin Powers got the bag and will be fed to the wolves. Unfortunately, unless they go bang bang gang, do they just throw them into there because they can't ever keep a full rotation? I feel between Juice, Jay, the Gun Brothers, they just throw them into there and kind of use that to steady and right that ship, maybe. Throw them in the tag division. But again, is that a lateral move of you move from the TNA tag division and kind of we're starting to break out as a singles guy to you move to the AW tag division and you might be staying there as a tag division guy. If not, you might work yourself into being a trios division guy. But I am in commercial break right now. Denisha, it's really petty on TK. Want every TNA wrestler that what here, but I don't know if it's we want every TNA guy or it's a petty move and all that. I think it's one of those of TK doesn't sign talent to develop talent. Almost he signs talent. Well, yes and no with that. He's not going to sign talent and help them fully I'm trying to find the right way to say this. He's not. We've seen it with Billy Starks a bit, with Nick Wayne still a little bit. They sign them still as young guys, but they kind of stay where they are at. It's a little bit I worry with Ace Austin of I'm going to sign you as young talent. Maybe you'll blossom into something, but I'm not exactly going to put too much of a stake in to make sure I water you. I sow the seeds to help you grow type of thing. Now, I'm not saying that he won't try and put talent over anything. He's obviously done that. But it seems a lot of rinse repeat of guys who have been there, of guys who were going to, who have been there for a foundation, not anybody that they brought in. Basically, what Nick is trying to say, Tony Khan isn't making new stars. Yes, thank you. Thank you, my anger translator, MDB. Who won the last match? The last match was not the segment we were talking about before that. The last match was, if I'm remembering correctly, it was Left Hand versus Matt Cardona, and Left Hand won. Cardona lost, if I'm remembering the match order. But yeah, I could be wrong. If anyone else remembers a different match that happened beforehand, please let me know, and I will probably tell you the results. I got you, big. I got you. Whether it's a work or not, what Kross is doing is normal in sports. He's holding out for a better deal. Jose, I don't know. I see where you're getting there with holding out. I don't know if he's exactly like, Christ, we had Cook halfway kind of holding out for a better deal, and the man got paid. The weird thing when it comes to pro wrestling is there's always the idea of it's still kayfabe. It's still a story. It's not always just instantly shoot brother. I don't know if he's exactly holding out. I think he's more of standing on business type of thing, and I fully respect it. And it's a genuine thing. When Nick says I could be wrong, what he really means is I'm right and you're wrong. Well, I mean, if that's how you take it, that's how you take it. But I kid. But I think it's just Kross being really genuine and very much of I want to still work with him. And it could just be completely coincidental and perfectly timed. It's right around when he'd be doing a book tour, and you can afford him to take some time off, and we'll just build this story and we can extend it out. And again, he's super talented as far as, you know, personality and charisma and promos and everything. So there is the outlying hope that it is still a work. But if it's a shoot, I really question WWE if you just dropped like your top guy or a guy that you've built up, you've had the guy that's heated up to the hottest level right now. And you just let him loose. Oh, he could sign anywhere and do anything. Now, granted, is that because you know he may not go to AEW because of past transgressions? And so it's what? It's MLW, it's the Indies, or it's TNA, which is almost halfway back in your web. I don't know. There is all the ways WWE, or there is a lot of ways WWE loses with this. I don't find too many ways Kross loses with this, whether it's shoot or work, I'll say. If he doesn't show up in AW, it's a work. No, because he could very much still show up in TNA. He, again, could show up in MLW. If he really wanted to, he could literally just do the whole indie route like we've seen with Matt Cardona and Christ. We're seeing again with Shotzi Blackheart. Spartacactus. Hi, guys. What up? I almost want to... It's almost hard to not say Spartacus with Spartacactus. Jose's the Nick Whisperer. When Nick says, if that's how you tell... I think you already said that. Do I need handlers? Is that what y'all trying to fucking say here? No, I am my own man. I am a grown human being. As we're running through the emergence card here. But yes, no. My heart of hearts, I want the Kross thing to be a work, and I don't mind if I get the wool pulled over my eyes or anything like that, because I want what's going to be best, A, for him, and B, I think it's the best thing for the story, creative. It's the best possible wrestling outcome, I think, is that they're pulling the wool over our eyes and they make it work, and they're very much, kind of this whole anti-rebellion thing. He's got to be a babyface when he comes back at this point. Do I think it could very much be a shoot, and then you just dropped, the hottest free agent out there into the open market? Sure, good on you. I good luck with that strategy, bold strategy, Cotton. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Love the channel. Well, appreciate everybody out there that's tuning in. Anybody, honestly, you hear new, if you hear long, pause. If you drop a like on the video, if you hit that bell notification, hit subscribe. But yeah, appreciate all the interaction, everything and anything with it. Trust me, again. This would just kind of, I can even say this now because it's just me here. This would just be me. If honestly, okay, just let me just go and just start talking. This would kind of be it. Yeah. No, appreciate anyone that tunes in and all the love and support and the whole community that we've built and all that. Like, we've filled out a whole goddamn fantasy football league and everything. We still got late roster spots. We've still got late roster spots, but you can sign up in twos, though. Not twos and you got two accounts, but two of you together. The Sharks were freaking laser beams. What? As I got Cedric Alexander coming out right now. Yes, we're done with Frankie. As we have 6-man tag team action player. Holla, holla, holla. As we've got the Rascals and Cedric Alexander taking on the Hardys and Leon Slater. So, hey, Tony, this is how you book a bit of an all-star match. You, A, don't do it every fucking week. And B, you do it right before a pay-per-view, and it's crossing multiple feuds on the same pay-per-view. Who would have thunk it? But anyways, is it too much to ask? And yes, I did an MDBCU of I Cannot Be Tamed. I'm a wild animal. There is always someone to take his place. Who's Kross's? Yeah, but I think you leave a big. And now this gets into the whole question of, do you gauge the reaction of, it seemed a little quiet. There is a lot of rumors about all the trying to shut down the Kross momentum, the feedback, the signs. I know friends of the channel had "We Want Kross" signs that made it throughout the show, but you didn't hear chants, you didn't hear cheers. Too much for "We Want Kross" during Monday Night Raw. So is it one of those, is it momentum online or is it momentum in the streets? We'll see. And that's why I think going on the Ariel Helwani shoot or work is the way to catch any bit of momentum and still keep this going and still keep this ball rolling. Because if I'm Karrion Kross, if this is completely illegitimate, as I've got the Slaters and Hardys coming out, but if this is complete a shoot of I'm done with WWE and I need to keep this ball rolling and keep my stock value up, then that's exactly what I do. I 100% go on something like Ariel Helwani. I go on to this, I go on to that. I try and do as much as I can to keep the ball rolling. Vin Diesel outside of Nick's state. What? Family? On a side note, and I know it's preseason football, but Shedeur Sanders is having himself a night, and it's only the first half. Okay, back to wrestling. Fair enough. Well, no, that makes me happy. You know, lets me know if I'm not watching the preseason games too much. Yeah, I know I got, on a side note, I do have Shedeur. I picked him up. He fell like he did in the actual draft. I picked him up, and I think the fucking last round of outside the channel fantasy football dynasty league of hope. I still hope Shedeur Sanders pays off into fucking something. I know the attitude thing might be a thing is why he fell that late, but kid's got talent, and I think he's starting to show it. That was debunked. What was debunked? Paul, I need a follow-up answer there. Big Nick the Stallion, what? I vote for Matt Hardy team. Fair enough. Yeah, let me know who you got for this team, whether you got Team Hardy or Team Rascals, as I am in commercial break right now. TK needs to give Travis Hunter some money. No, you wait. Come the fall season, do we get Travis Hunter shows up and gets involved in anything? We start to get more of the Jaguars. There's that little pull that they can pull in there. Pause. Said pull twice. But yeah. And does that become the counter programming of, well, WWE doesn't have a full NFL team, they can't pull in an XFL player? Good. Kevin, what up? I think Shedeur falling in the draft was the best thing for him. Yeah. Sit down. Be humble. 100%. I think, honestly, kid's gonna fucking dot it up. And even then, even if he's just a 1-year guy and dots it up, because if you really go back and look at his stats, and I know I'm going on a tangent, but we're in a commercial break, folks. So be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe, as we're back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown and Emergence Saturday. Speaking of all this football talk and this fantasy football talk, we got the members only. Do we have the slides? I can see it. Yes, we do have the members only fantasy football draft popping off tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. So, folks, if you're in the league, pay attention, because I don't want people on auto draft. Be active. But yes, you get to see inside mine and KJ's war rooms and everything. Do we get a late round, a late draft last pick? When everyone's picking a kicker, someone picks a Shedeur Sanders or anything like that. But we'll also be back at it for Triple Mania as well. Late start, 8:30 start, I believe, Eastern Standard Time for us of show kicks off. And you can also watch it again. You can have all the YouTube tabs open. You can watch us and Triple Mania live at the same time on, I believe, AAA's YouTube channel and also WWE's channel as well. So free to everybody. You can watch it. You don't got to pay the $9.99, the $30.99 or anything like that. Yes. Yes, back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown. There we go. Back to the hardest. I'm perfectly unintentionally perfectly timed that as we're back to the action, or back to at least the scheduling. Nick is already plotting trades before the draft even happens. No, I'm halfway making sure certain people don't take certain players I want. Just saying. And I didn't include anything. I even set it up to where there's no Jakes in this league. There's no divisions. No, 100%. Yeah, no. I might be eyeing my Buffalo players a little bit. Hashtag spoiler alert. And I know A.B. Johnson and everything like that. I was also a Buffalo Bills fan. And I know a lot of people know I'm a Bills fan, so they might be doing that just to fuck with me. Nickonomics. Yes, I am the doctor of Nickonomics. Nick is the commish. Well, the commish of the TNA is back. Hey, what do you say?
I was able to do that without ending the stream. I'm so proud of myself.
Hey, I'm a big kid now.
What did I miss?
You missed a lot of football talk, and now we've got Sami Callihan right now here.
Okay.
Yeah, you missed the start of so we're into the 6-man tag match and all of that. Not much was really happening, but yeah, I got Sami on here. I don't know what he's saying.
All right. Seems like Sami Callihan is talking about his potential final match tomorrow.
Ooh. Hey, Big Nick, how long have you been growing your beard for? Oh, Christ, decades now. It's had times to where just for job interviews or whatever, it's gotten trimmed. I know I was but a baby beard or a regrowing beard when I started on the channel. Now it's full Luke Harper. But if you were to shave it, do you think you would even recognize yourself? I've had mine for 8 years. I forgot what I looked like without it before. Yeah, no, my wife would not know what I look like without the beard. She's not seen me really without the beard. I think I'd be a whole new stranger coming in. I'm gonna just leave that for you.
Nick should have ended the stream and blamed it on Anthony. I like that.
Just get out of here, like, folks. I can't do that.
Like, this is it. Boom, in stream.
Yeah, but see, I'd have to really scramble because KJ ain't gonna pull up a new one.
Right?
That's not here. Shit.
So it seems like Eddie Edwards was trying to give Sami Callihan some type of encouragement, pep talk. I don't know,
but MDB just gave me the greatest fantasy football team name of all time that is very much going to change to my team name after this, of calling it Juke Harper. Because I'm currently the tribal thief with Bronson Reed with the Shula Fala as my team name.
So I guess it is confirmed that Ace Austin is all elite. So
fair enough. I was wondering when you were on your pause of a caution that you could have confirmed or denied.
It's definitely confirmed. I'll save my thoughts and opinions 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now when he's not doing anything. But I don't know.
No, I'm just saying you called it. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it's not a good track record with the
TNA I want the tea. Come on, I'll sip.
It's not a good track record with the TNA people that jump ship to AEW. So we'll see.
But do you keep him as a tag guy? Does he go and still grow in AEW, or is it a lateral move?
I feel like it's a lateral move.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But who am I to know anything? So we'll see.
Quote of the night again from Anthony. Who am I to know anything? Yes, I will ask you, who are you to know of who wins this match between the Hardys and the Rascals here? The 6-man tag.
I'm going to take the Hardys. I'm going to take the Hardys and Leon Slater.
Oh, are you doubling down, or well, you went the other way of he who goes over on the go home show goes under on the pay-per-view and proven wrong.
So we can't have Leon Slater lose the X Division title that quickly. So maybe it is the Rascals and was it Cedric Alexander in this match?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We can't have him losing the title this soon.
Fair enough. Now, and I also mentioned this while you're on your pause of, hey, Tony, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. But this is how you book an all-star kind of match of it's the night before, it's the go-home show before a pay-per-view. You're crossing over feuds. You have people that have connections together. You're not doing this every fucking week type of thing. Of this works as arguably your main event for the go-home show. I would assume, and this is star power across the board, and you're combining two feuds together into one match.
Yeah, true. I'm not too like aware of what's happening with the all-star matches in AEW at all.
They're all happening all the time.
But when it comes to this, I think this is cool to I think this is the main event, is 9:41. So I'm sure this is the main event to end the go home show like this. I think it's pretty cool. And you give them about 20 minutes to rock it out in the ring. I like that.
I'll put it this way: there are more all-star matches in AEW than all-star by Smash Mouth plays in at Old Navy.
Oh.
Spaz with a $5 super chat. Talented Fish is a masquerade of handles. Jackson Spalding, the bathroom is the main house. The owner's Spaz, put down the pipe. I don't know what you are partaking in, what vitamin strain you have, but I don't know if I want any, because what the fuck was that? Is that some code, or like you trying to like alert someone that's a sleeper agent with that fucking shit or something?
Oh, Wentz taking it to Leon Slater there with some high kicks and stuff.
Right. Oh. Yeah, Bradley, thank you. Yes, I did last thing on the fantasy chat of I sent out an email to everybody. Show up for the fucking draft, be active, especially because we're going to be here live for it.
He said, show up.
Show up and show out.
Don't let it auto pick for you.
Facts. We're in year 3, my guy. We're in growing pains. We just got out of the terrible 2s.
Right.
That was a polite laugh from Anthony. Hey, go ahead. You can have it. Go ahead. Polite laugh. Well, that's because Anthony's a polite individual.
That's true.
Tagging him at.
It's been like quick tags between the Hardys and Leon, keeping the fresh man in, I guess you could say.
Well, that's a little bit what you got to do when you got two guys that are elder statesmen of the game, like the Hardys and everything. Fast pace of, don't have him stand there for quite too long. Oh, like anyone thinking Matt Hardy having a 60-minute Iron Man match coming up?
Tell me that is not true. Tell me that is not true. That he joined the Don Callis family. I'm clicking off that comment. That didn't piss me off. Oh my God.
I will allow. I don't know if I need to allow you time to comprehend that, or if you need to research that to confirm that before you get mad. But yeah,
it's just like I can see AEW doing something stupid like this because they did it with Josh Alexander. And he's doing nothing. I can't.
The Don Callis family is for sure flaccid. It was Sean. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Please let it be a joke.
Calm down. It was a joke. It's a joke.
I was up there. I was up there.
He was out there. Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the air, and I'm thinking. Spaz, I see you with your $5 super chat. I don't know if I want to click on it because I think it's just all over the place again, my guy. You mentioned Austin Powers and WWE and things of that nature. No Dudley running tonight? Dudley do right?
Right. Surprisingly, I'm still kind of shocked that we didn't get Devon at Slammiversary. It was just Bubba. But we did get Devon at, SummerSlam. He was in the crowd. But I don't know. That was a little awkward to me, but it is what it is.
Well, also Devon's still recovering and all of that. I know Devon's very much one of those of he's got maybe 5 good bumps left in him. He's kind of on that level when Bully, if he really wanted to, I mean, clearly with House of Glory and all that, if I want to still go for a couple matches, I can still go.
That's true. They just have to be years apart.
Fair enough. Well, Sean said, "My bad. So sorry. I just see it happening." So
and I can see it happening.
Walk you off the ledge.
And I can see it happening too, Sean. That's why it pissed me off, because I'm like, this could literally happen. It's just, we'll see. I'm not gonna prejudge, but we know the track
pre-mad. Hashtag pre-mad.
Right? Hashtag pre-mad. But we know it's there. Like, we know how former TNA talent is treated. So I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
With the exception of Speedball, because we've seen Speedball a lot.
But not well.
So I don't know.
As I randomly cut to commercial here. Yeah, it was the kick out of a pin, and we cut to commercial, at least for me.
Yeah, I'm on commercial too. I got the "we'll be right back."
Right, but Bradley's saying, "I will donate a membership. The giver of gifts, the man who's taken my Santa Claus, my St. Nicholas name out here, saying, I will donate a membership and laugh my butt off if that happens, Anthony."
Man, I feel like now I need to be on the Dynamite stream next week just to be like, okay, this is happening. Let me rant. But
that would be, I don't want to put words in KJ's mouth there or anything like that. But I think rants are aplenty on Wednesday. Just saying, I think those happen a lot. Wednesday,
so I might need to save it
Wednesday night rants instead of Monday Night Raw. So you might be.
I might need to save it for another date.
You might be able to fit in right there perfectly with that. I mean, I want to. We haven't seen it yet, so hashtag pre-mad.
Right.
Again, shout out. This chat is lit. Yeah, chat's popping off. That's a side note why I think we have all the ats and everything instead of the usernames, because the chat's been getting hot and heavy, so they make sure that there's no doppelgangers. But I digress. But yeah, maybe wait and see what happens. Maybe on a Wednesday, you and KJ, you can just have Rantapalooza. Well, it's instead of Monday Night Raw, we have Wednesday Night Rant at times, I feel.
Wednesday night rant.
That's not a bad thing at all. Yeah.
I'm calm now. I'm good. I've let it go. I'm not pre-mad, but I mean, I could definitely, like Sean say, see it happening. So
I wish you're out there. I wish a motherfucker would.
Right?
Anthony, I ain't mad, but I wish a motherfucker would.
Like, try me. Do it, please.
Exactly. Correct. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. Did everyone see the Ariel interview? I don't know if everyone did. I think we both did. We were sharing clips amongst the group chat and everything. Whole hour and a half onto itself.
Right. That was a long interview with Karrion Kross. I thought it was great though. From start to finish, I thought Karrion left nothing on the table. I think a lot of the questions he answered straightforward, and was honest and professional. Great interview, honestly.
Well, and is that part of what drew everyone to him? I've kind of said it recently a bit of he has that brave vibe of he's genuinely a good human being and you genuinely relate to him. Like you feel that's him. That's not a character talking. I know he even clarified that. That's him. And especially, I'll say this as someone with a significant other of making sure not just I'm good, and especially she works in the same profession I do, but we're both good and we're both under contract because we're fucking act together and everything. There's a lot to really like with Karrion Kross. And I think that's it would be such a big fumble for WWE to have a guy that you've almost internally built and you've seen that's on this high trajectory to decide we got nothing for you. That's the most public drop the ball at the goal line type of thing that I don't believe it almost.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just like I think KJ was the one that said it in our group chat. He was like, if that was how the contract negotiation went, he was like, it's very, you know, kind of unprofessional. And I mean, and the way he described it, I mean, to me seemed a little bit, you know, unprofessional and not run correctly. But
it
yeah,
sounded like one of those shit. Damn, just all right, shut
right.
up. Here you go.
And,
Fuck.
and I don't like to the using the term fumbled or anything like that, but in this case, it's like, yeah, this was a triple nose fumbled, if that's
Oh,
the case.
one of those you had the wide open pass out there at the goal line. All he had to do was catch the ball, and he somehow just dropped it on the fucking in the end zone there.
Right. You dropped it right at the end zone. Yeah.
We're back in action as I have Matt Hardy and Zachary Wentz up in the top corner here.
Yes, I have that too. Matt Hardy hitting him in the back, and now we got some headbutts.
Right.
Did anyone, as we were talking about interviews, did anyone listen to the Jimmy and Naomi interview with Stephanie McMahon? Because that was like 2 hours. It was like a 2-hour interview, and it was really good. I
haven't watched it. I think most people were paying attention to it because they wanted Salacious. We haven't even talked about those rumors. That might be the last thing before we get out of here.
Before we
but people
after
forget
the main
that
event,
shit
I
was
like
recorded
that.
before SummerSlam.
Right. We could talk about that right after the main event. I'm
like I said, well, that might be the last closing thing after, you know, giving our ratings for TNA here, but maybe they don't believe in him like the fans do. Monday Night Raw was interesting, of not a lot of we want Kross chants, but I also mentioned on our stream of I feel like they did a lot of we're going to tire the crowd out before they can even get to the fucking first half hour, before they even want to start chanting we want Kross, because they're cheering for Punk, they're cheering for this, they're cheering for Sammy, they're cheering for Jay, they're cheering all over.
Right, absolutely. I mean, and even I thought that was gonna be it, but even the I lost my train of thought for a second.
I was talking about the we didn't get a lot of we want Kross chants on Monday Night Raw.
Yes. I was kind of shocked about that. Now I didn't watch the entirety of Raw, but I really thought we were gonna get we want Kross chants throughout the show, and that didn't happen. Maybe KJ's country doesn't care about Kross because they were in Canada, so maybe they hate Kross. I don't know.
But he's international. He was the #1 trending worldwide.
That is true.
It's really interesting. That fits with maybe they don't believe in him. There was so much to like about Karrion Kross. His release surprised me a little, which helps lead me to believe that there's a lot of the story we don't know. Well, and he did bring up the whole, and he mentioned in his even documentary of, please tell everyone that was a work. I didn't just go off the fucking cuff and snap. And that he mentions about Triple H, I guess, didn't know about it. Whether that's real or not, you can choose to believe it. But that was almost got him heat. But between that and him embracing fans backstage, it feels like he might have gotten a little bit of that good old boy internal heat backstage.
Right, because he said they didn't like him, you know, going out meeting the fans and talking to them.
They wanted him to ignore them chanting "We want Kross," and then he pops up. Now you got me.
Exactly. I don't know. It's a lot. I would like to hear the other side of the story, but we may never hear the other side of the story. It's just it's a lot to unpack, really. Ooh, that was a nice move by Myron Reed.
An F4.5 because it bounced off the ropes and everything.
Right.
Blame Canada.
Now, this has been a really good match.
Oh, well, I didn't expect anything
less when
less
you
than.
got
Now,
yeah,
I almost wondered if this might collectively be better than the 2 matches we get on Emergence.
right? Like they are really cooking in this match.
Are you surprised Cedric Alexander went TNA and not AW of Hurt Syndicate, Hurt Business, especially if we
Oh,
kick out Maxwell?
oh, not surprised. I think I might have been on the stream with KJ when I said this. It was the reason for me, the reason why I feel like Cedric didn't sign with AEW is how his wife Big Swole was treated by Tony Khan. So
Very
that's
true, and very
yeah,
much why Kross won't sign with AEW, as we just got the
right.
waterfall of Twist of Fates.
Yep. That was fantastic. This has been the best match of the night and may have pushed my rating up by a
Oh,
point.
for sure. But yeah, I fully believe that people don't forget of if that's how you're going to treat my wife. And again, it's a little bit. I know I've pitched, Kross fucks around with Hangman and it goes over and is that's the number 2 right now. Currently, be the biggest star there. Everything with Callis and Scarlett allegedly. They're not going there. So it's TNA or
Yeah.
WWE. And is that maybe why he's like, I'd still like to negotiate with WWE. I'd still want to be there. He's still, I won't trash you because I still want to be at the table.
Right. Absolutely. And he said big companies have reached out to him. He did mention AEW was not one of them. I'm assuming TNA was the other company, but nice splash.
Splashes all around on the Cedric. 1, 2,
Man,
breakup.
Leon Slater was in the rafters with that splash.
I want to see Leon Slater versus Javon Evans, and may gravity have mercy on our souls.
Ooh, nice super kicks.
Ooh. The Rascals to me are so much modern day Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh yeah. I
Just
definitely agree with that.
their timing, their innovative offense and everything, their tag team maneuvers and everything. They are what MTMT was.
Yeah. And no matter which, I'm even going to include, iteration of it, of them, they all work very well together.
Oh yeah. It's rare to see a trio like that works. They're freebirds, literally and figuratively, of whether it's Wesley, whether it's Myron Reed, whether it's Zachary Wentz, they move all the same.
Yeah, absolutely. They all gel very well
together.
Jumping over the post.
I'm still saying I want Leon Slater versus Javon Evans, and let gravity be damned.
That move over the turnbuckle scares me though, because I just feel like anything can happen.
Yeah, it's one of those, you just come a little bit short and all of a sudden your cranium's going across the ring post.
Exactly. Lumbar check, and he pins the X Division champion, meaning Leon Slater.
But again, he who goes over on the Go Home show goes under on the pay-per-view. We both kind of agreed that the Rascals needed to win this.
Right. We both agreed on that. And I think this might be the first time Leon Slater has been pinned in a while.
Doesn't he have like a undefeated streak or something like that?
Say that again?
Didn't he have an undefeated streak, or am I misremembering?
I think he did.
But it's one of those, does it count in singles matches versus multi-person matches type of thing?
True. That could be a thing there. Wow.
Chance the Rapper, Cedric the Entertainer, Megan Thee Stallion walk into the bar. As that's got to be the end of it. So that's an abrupt ending for me for TNA.
Celebration.
Well, we had a minute on the clock, and then everyone's just pointing and laughing of like, haha. And then we go to, we'll be right back. Thanks for watching. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Well, that's the end of TNA. I mean, I guess we could say get your ratings in.
Well,
Um,
again, it just feels like an abrupt ending. It
it
wasn't.
was
I
it
mean,
was it was a
still a good
cutoff.
match, great match to
Yeah.
end the show and everything, but you expected a little bit more. And are we just in tune as wrestling fans of even at this point of like watching a show of, oh, they did a spot and now they're showing a replay. Oh, we're going to a commercial now. You can almost time when they're going to go to shit versus that just seemed like they just, fuck, we're out of here. We're out of time.
No, that's kind of how it was. The ratings are coming in for tonight. I'm kind of surprised of how high they are because initially I was going a 6.5.
Oh,
I was going, I was dipping, dipping real low, but with that main event, I can push it up to about a 7. I think
no.
I same as last week, a 7.
Click away, sir. Click away. You see the rating, so click away.
Oh yeah. So we got Sean at 8 out of 10, which is I feel like that's pretty high. Ronan 7 out of 10, Damien 7.5 out of 10, Kevin says 10 out of 10. Vance, we got 7 out of 10. I think I just said Damien. I don't know if I clicked on it, but 7.5 out of 10. We don't care about MDB's rating. AB Johnson says 7 out of 10. Eric says 7 out of 10, and see you guys tomorrow. So yeah, I feel like we're all in the same area. How you feeling, Nick?
I'm with a bit of the chat. I mean, I feel like it's kind of swayed me. I was already kind of halfway feeling that. Like 7 works for me. Of again, I don't know if really the night before your pay-per-view you're gonna have a fucking 10 out of 10 show, because then what's left for your pay-per-view to do?
Right.
So I'll go 7. I'm surprised you were coming in here on the low end of it.
Right. I was coming in at a 6.5, but that ending kind of spruced it up a little bit, gave them a half a point. So yeah, I'm at a 7, and I'm comfortable at the 7.
Fair enough. 7 out of 10 touches, 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10 lean buckets, 6 out of 10. John C is still letting us know, I guess, of what allegedly might still be happening of
on
Eli's
Access
group
TV,
coming out.
because I think he's watching that on Access TV, which starts at 9. So yeah, so he's just getting the start of the second hour.
Sorry, John. You thought you were from the future. Turns out you were from the past. But we still love you. Yeah, Mike Santana. Yeah, 100%. So, John, spoiler alert, stop watching us right now and just hit rewind and go back and watch us from the beginning. We'll sync up with you eventually there.
Right.
I gave a better rating than Anthony. That's not always a good thing, though.
Actually, no, you didn't. You gave it a 6. I gave it a 7. So unless you don't know how to do math, that's not better. So
listen, you gave it a 6, he gave it a 6.5 or whatever. Yeah, it equals 100 fucking Steiner math. I don't know. 6 out of 10 outside of the main event. The matches were disappointing. We had Rosemary show up. We had the Summit that I think was pretty solid.
Yeah, I like it.
There is very much still highs and lows a bit with TNA, much like NXT. The moosing is still interesting. The main event, I think, really sealed it. Again, it's the go-home show. You're not expecting a home run. I'm happy with a double or a base on single. So 7. I mean, if you really want to fight for a 6, 6.5, I can get there with you, but I'll take us up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree.
7. My girl says a 6 is good. Why the fuck did I pull the comment on that? 7.5. Boston saying a 7, but yes. So, folks, still let us know your ratings, as I still got to ask Anthony. So, the rumor abound. We teased it. We talked about it. We teased it would be the end of the stream. Naomi with or without a baby. It may be caution because baby on board instead of proceed with caution. How you feeling? What you thinking? Believe it or not.
I don't believe it. I just, it's more of wait and see what happens. She could just legit be injured. But yeah, I don't believe anything right now. I didn't watch the interview today intending for them to make an announcement or anything like that. I think that interview was filmed weeks before. In the interview, did they talk about wanting to start a family? Absolutely. She talked about how Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch has given her inspiration that she could be a mom and still continue to wrestle. But outside of that, Naomi's at the top of her game. Whatever happens, happens. But yeah, I don't believe anything.
I think a lot of people expected, because they kind of randomly announced them being on the interview and everything, them being on the podcast.
Right.
Very much led to a lot of people expecting something. I think it's funny that the two human beings probably least likely to procreate on the planet of Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez were the ones hinting at another human being being pregnant or being with child. Just saying that. I think those are the least two qualified people to fucking talk about that. And I think that's really what this has become, is it's spiraled because of Naomi got pulled from the match. We don't know why. It seemed very last minute, very late minute. And I know, again, Naomi has talked about wanting to have a family, all of that. She's obviously married, has Jimmy. But outside of that, there is nothing to insinuate that that's why she got pulled from the match. Absolutely. So it's one of those, I'd rather let sleeping dogs lie and see where the cards fall where they may, because people have been pulled from matches for far less and all of that. And I think I don't know why they would hold on announcing this if that was the thing. So it's one of those, I just don't know why Naomi was pulled from Monday, and that's what I want to see. That's what I need to know. Hopefully she's okay. Beyond that, it is nothing but pure speculation to me and a lot of nonsense. If she is pregnant, great. I have no reason to speculate or to think that needs to be a thing now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Everything you said, you hit the nail on the head right there.
I shouldn't be nailing anything or talking about this whole segment. Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's just a bunch of nonsense until whatever the announcement of whatever's going on with her is made.
Well, we say it with wrestling shows and everything. Don't be mad because they didn't do what you booked. Don't be mad at Naomi now because you booked her pregnant and she ain't pregnant, type of shit. Like, that's where I worry we're going. Of like, what? You didn't? You don't have a baby? What? Like, no. What? Why are we going to be mad at that? And I feel like we're going to be mad at that.
Absolutely. The IWC has to find something to be mad at.
Right, but things that they can never be mad at is the Wrestling for Life Network, as we are hashtag WFU there, as I can quickly run through. We'll back at it like a jackrabbit tomorrow, Friday night SmackDown, and also watching Emergence. The payoff of everything we just watched earlier tonight is we're setting up all the matches heading into Clash in Paris. Saturday, we've got the fantasy football draft again. You can see me and KJ sweating out in our war rooms again. Pause. And we're also Triple Mania out there with the interesting broadcast stream of Corey Graves and JBL out there broadcasting Triple Mania. But again, last thing before, if you have anything else, last thing to say. Sorry, sir. But Triple Mania, AAA, on YouTube, on their YouTube. Allegedly, WWE might reinvent the logo, but we'll talk about that at a later date. But them on YouTube versus them on a pay-per-view, them pay for platform. Better, worse, good exposure, bad exposure.
I think it's more good exposure at this point because the AAA is not known to a lot of the WWE fans. So I think it's good. Honestly, I don't see any bad in it at all. Giving it away for free, You know, I think it's good for people that don't know what AAA is. So I'm on the
you
good
had
side with it.
Mr. Iguana pop up. You had the Worlds Collide and everything like that.
Right.
Yeah. So,
And I wonder if they really can't. I mean, I don't want to speculate on how the contracts and stuff work. I wonder if they really can't put it out there for pay just yet in the United States. I don't know. I don't know how these things work.
it was, I think, for a brief period, if I'm remembering correctly. And again, we're going overtime here. We got an overrun. If anyone can remind me of, I think they were on HBO or they would show up on Max. Like it was one of those of AAA would be on Max.
I heard people say it was on Max if you turned on the VPN.
Yeah, but that's the
Yeah.
thing, because you couldn't find it in the US.
In the
So
US.
that's the interesting thing of that. You got AEW that's on Max, you got AAA on Max now, and now we're all dancing around. But I think it's the best way of get everybody pulled into it. And again, is it setting up, tying into what we were talking about earlier tonight, to put everything in a nice, neat little bow of packaging a AAA and a TNA to a Peacock, to a to a CW, to any sort of a TV rights deal of, we own AAA. Everybody thinks we're going to own TNA, but we're helping them out of help them all move upstream of, we're getting them more exposure, and then they get a US TV deal.
I mean, absolutely. I think that's why AAA has to be shown on YouTube, because they don't have any type of deal in the United States, right? So I guess that was basically my point of saying, like, I don't think it can be shown anywhere else, right? I think this just positions AAA and WWE to do something with Peacock later down the line. Potentially with TNA as well. I mean, it's been talked about over the past couple of weeks. So we shall see. We definitely shall see.
Fair enough, sir. But I'm a peacock and you got to let me fly, sir. So I don't know if you have anything else last minute that you need to say, or any sort of send offs or anything. Sir.
I do not. I think we covered everything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yes, MDB is saying, make sure you drop all the comments 100%. It all just helps the algorithm. It's free. It costs you nothing. Hit that bell notification, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment, or Anthony will aim the freaking laser beams at you. See, that's an Austin Powers reference that you wouldn't get.
I mean, that was kind of funny, but I'm still not gonna watch Austin Powers. So
it's gonna need to happen. I'm gonna put up a fucking Wing of the Ring challenge or something. But yeah, snooches, mooches.
I can lose the challenge and still not watch that movie. I'll be definitely okay.
Fair enough. But at the end of the day, our shit is real, our shit is raw, our shit is authentic. When you were talking about that wrestling, you put that for life with it.
All right. See you guys for SmackDown.